Alright, we're back from the crash. We're going to go to our southwest corner, I hope. And we did, and that's actually not where I want to be. I want to be way over on the other side, which I did not place the navigation to. I'm gonna rename that to South Edge. It's not renaming. Come on. South. I think. I'm still not 100% convinced. I don't know where I am. Okay, so I'm on Corian side here. I'm just gonna follow it on down. Okay. And I'm just gonna add a new thing just so I can remember what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my, I'm gonna do 14 is probably too big, maybe 8. Okay, so I'm gonna take a sample there of the cliff. Make sure they got the height right. Okay, and we're just going to try it again, and we're gonna go along this edge. Right, like this. And this time we're also going to save a little sooner. Just because I don't like having to redo my work after it crashes. I don't have very much memory in my computer, at least not for development computer. I mean, it's fine for playing games, but for development it's a little low. So that's why I have these issues. So we're going to just go along here, make sure this is all up to code. Alright, we need this all at least that high and not to be low, so okay. Okay, save, do lots of saves, take a drink of water, and smooth it together. And we want these edges all matching up, and that paint is going to bother me real fast. I'm going to have to change it, and I want it to match the Corian side. So what I will do here is I'm going to make the Corian side match the Moran side, so I'm going to have to lift some. Yeah, I need a bigger brush here to make a better blend. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I need a softer. There we go. Okay. A softer blend is what I needed. So it'll pull one side up more and the other down, make it blend better. See, so that's why we say it's geographically relevant. It's not precise. We did use the digital elevation model to get the terrain, but it's only at 90 meters resolution, which is pretty low to begin with. And then of course you see what we are doing here. We just have to make it work. It's a game after all. It's not military specs or anything like that. It's just a game, and it's relevant, so it'll be fun. it's not going to be precise. And when I get to that point, I'm going to raise up the Marion side there and make that match over there. So right here, I'm going to chop that all down, make that match. Why is that grass? What happened? I lost some chunks, didn't I? What is the matter? We lost some data when it crashed. Shoot. That's not very fun for me. What happened? Alright, I guess I have to go back through and start at the end and put them in again. Wasn't that all there just a minute ago? How did it disappear so quick? I know that was there. That's really bizarre. I hate it when it forgets. Alright, so this is... So Corion is on the top. In this view anyway. Which is actually backwards, but anyway. It can't be right. Yes, it is right. This is the north of this. It's the south of that. Okay. Yes, my brain is still confused. Please forgive me. I am not perfect. I never claim to be perfect. Okay, and I'm going to go to select, not waypoint stations, terrain. That little drop-down menu is very important. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, right there. So I need Corion right there. I need Marion right there. And that's right. And then Marion 19 right there. And Corion 19 right there. Marion 18. Corion 18. I don't know why it's doing this, but it's really annoying. Corion 17. Corion 17. Corion. Oh, should be Corion 16. Corion 16. Okay, and save. Hopefully it will remember all that stuff this time. Alright, I see. Okay, I'm going to go back to this. I see a pattern here. This looks like this should go like that. So I'm going to do that. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm doing. And then I am going to go to the paint, and I'm going to pick up that paint, and I am going to get a bigger paintbrush, and I'm going to paint this whole wall. Okay, that's 40 strength and 100 opacity. The 100 means it's going to totally overwrite anything underneath it, and the 40 means it'll have a nice soft blended edge on the side. So we'll just keep it just like that, and it will blend and it will be pretty. And we'll just have a nice rock here. Just not going to look like the other gray rock that's there, but it will match the Corian side, which is what I want it to do. I want it to match. The paint has to match as well as the terrain, or it will look really stupid in the game. Okay, and save. And then we're going to go back and we're going to soften it. And that will give us a nice smooth edge here. We want to make sure both sides are softened, both sides, especially on this line. This line right here up the middle, that's the most critical area. It must be perfect. Because there's still going to be shadowing issues and things that just can't be perfected, but if we can at least get the terrain right and the painting right, it'll be as good as we can get it, and that's what we need. I'm going to go down to a 3. This is not blending it like I want it to. And a stronger. There we go. Just want it. Well, maybe a 5 is better. And not so high. He's making little circles. I don't like the little circles.
Somebody used our reactor to transport the victims away?
It's a hologram project. It creates an ultrasound particle and manipulates the field along with physical logic.
What does this have to do with missing people?
People under the uncompromised.
Holograms?
I'm afraid so. You see, the component that controls the flow of the
Alright.
and that's what creates.
And so this is why it takes between 14 and 20 hours to clean up the zone between 2 edges. Just each one takes this long because it's just slow, tedious work, and there's just no way around it. It just is. So then we get the paint.
I'd be skeptical too if I were you, but we have further proof. What kind of proof?
So I want to come out here and get rid of all this distracting paint. It's
She's fine. Her arm breathing should realize the solution back inside. Where exactly did this happen?
there we go.
Here, stick your arm. Here, reach for my hand.
I go off the edge a little there. It makes sure that we get it right. Oh, and there's a reason I don't do all this work right on the very edge. So if you're on the very edge of the zone, then you get these weird dips and things on the sides. But if I do it right in the middle, then it will be right. And that's what I want. I want it to be right. So now then I go back down to 6. Pick that up again. And just paint some more along that edge, just like that. A little bit of a rocky face there, so we'll go on up that rock. And up that way. And that looks good that way, see? Just follow that down like that. And I don't want that brown texture there. It doesn't look very good. Alright, and save. Because if I lose all my data, it takes even longer. Alright, and then I'm going to cover up all that right there. That doesn't look good either. Not just on one side for sure. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, so here is, I'm going to go back to measuring, and I'm going to take a sample right here, and I'm going to make my, okay, and so we want that to come out about there, so I'm going to, it needs to be smaller, and then sample at the peak.
This way you have a chance to live.
And sample there, we'll come around the edge. Alright, then we'll blend it together. So we just do a nice blend. I'm going to take a sample here and go down. I don't want it too shallow there. All right.
I was happy with the way you did it, but it I realized one morning that I didn't really want to. I came here. And I used a photo generator to recreate.
Alright, so I'm going to have to get a better angular view. There we go. That looks good.
I would appreciate it if you take me back to Europe. But what about the villagers? What about your granddaughter? She's not there. Technically, I suppose you're right. Maybe by our definition, potatoes not free.
Alright, why isn't that working? I'm trying to take a sample here.
Made up of Omicron particles. But who's to say that our definition of life is the only valid one? I talked to you asked her. She said she was weak. She thinks she feels. She only sees. It's a ball of illusion. An illusion I created? Well, you said you created the village 30 years ago, didn't you? 10. I designed the program so the village could see that children.
Then TF personality is a combination of computer personality.
Just like a real child, you have to admit. But you're still a hologram. I saw the way you held her hand when she was sad. I saw the way you tried to comfort her when she was frightened. I didn't want her to get hurt. If she's not real, what does it matter? It matters. It matters to me. Why should it matter to you if a hologram provides?
Alright, that is not making the sample proper.
She loves you.
To see you. She's real. And she's real to Fuji too. They're all real. And you can't turn your back on them now.
Alright. So now I'm gonna take a sample. Maybe I have to be on this side to get the sample. Alright. Click.
It's kind of fun when you
And then
I think it'd be better if I could do it.
there we go.
I'm glad you decided to stick with me.
I don't want to switch something.
Since
Since forever. It's too much. Like you. I need to put some. Does that make any sense? It does.
you're right, Jake. There are children. There is only one way. Find something you love. Do the best you can.
That's right.
Good. You make the old man proud.
I've been close there. Still trying to figure out those ice cream pies.
Alright. Save.
Hello, everyone. Hey, Jim. What do I owe this unexpected pleasure? I just thought I'd let you know. We caught your cousin on this investigation. It's own gardens.
Alright.
Museum on Gardens 5. I always been called. I wish you an opportunity together. By the way, Carl Ritz tells me that you encouraged him to elect the wildlife station. Is that a crime?
So it's not going to be geographically perfect, but it'll be relevant and it'll be fun. And hopefully we can get all these little triangle marks out of the ground. There.
Converging the nerve.
Alright. In order that we activate the system and
Please don't tell me evidence that I'm not like them. I don't want to be treated any differently than before. Of course.
And this takes a very long time. But this is how we do it. I don't know how many hours of this you want to watch. You might be all done now. Maybe you can hear Deep Space Nine playing in the background. My family's watching reruns while I work. They have fun while I work. I don't get to watch it. We're talking about moving my computer into the living room where I can be with my family and work at the same time. I think that would be a wonderful idea. But it also involves rearranging all the furniture, which is something I'm not very fond of. I have some female friends who actually apparently rearrange their furniture like every 3 months or something, but I'm not like that. I just like, I make it one way and I leave it like that for like 10 years. Maybe 5 years. If we get new furniture or something breaks, of course, obviously we have to move out the broken furniture and whatnot. But, I just don't like too much change. I don't like, maybe I just don't like the hassle of it, or I spend a lot of time planning it to begin with too, and so I figure I like the plan that I came up with, and that's good enough, and let's go do something fun now. Moving furniture isn't fun for me. It's not, I don't think it's all that fun for my family either, so we tend to try not to do it too much. Oh, excuse my sniffles. I have allergies. Nothing I can do about it. I'm actually allergic to allergy medicine. I've taken it. I've taken Claritin. I'm allergic to it. Not deathly allergic or anything, but it causes some unpleasant symptoms. And I've taken Zyrtec. Knocks me out cold for about 8 hours.
Good job.
Which is not very productive in the work department, so I don't take Zyrtec either. And Allegra, I can't remember what Allegra, I think Allegra just didn't do anything, didn't help, didn't hurt, didn't do anything. And Sudafed makes me feel like I have the flu. So I just don't take allergy medicine. The only thing that works for me is peppermint oil, and I have to reapply it about every 4 to 6 hours. So I try to avoid it if I can. But it does help. I love my peppermint oil, but I try not to use it all up too fast. So I'm not feeling too bad right now, just little sniffles, so I can survive if you can survive. And I just spend the rest of the night painting terrain like this. This is what we'll do for the rest of the evening. Getting all the little holes out, making it all blend and match and not look spiky. Might ruin the fun of the game for you, I don't know. If you want to keep the magic in games, don't be a game developer, because it takes all the fun out of the games, really. Everything starts to look like puzzles after that. How'd they do that? Can I do that? You don't really think about playing as much as working after that. Everything becomes work. Even your playtime becomes work time because you spend half your time figuring out how they did stuff and thinking about how you can do that too, or why you wouldn't do that, or how you change it, or whatever. Alright. And now that I've got this mountain, I think all blended, it's time to paint it so that it matches. And it looks like it belongs here. And we're going to have to do this to the whole area, obviously. All up and down both sides. Missed a couple spots, didn't I? Sometimes you can just go over it and over it and over it and you still miss spots. There's just no way around it. And I do not use the elevation tool for painting because the elevation tool doesn't seem to see the difference between valleys and peaks. But I'm going to save this again. I really hope this is recording my voice. I don't even know if it is. I haven't tested it. I'm just talking, hoping you can hear me. That'd be funny if you can't. Alright, now I just... So all this forest area, this is where we want to put trees. Because right now, if you get up, see it close, you see there's ferns here. Oh, not when I'm under the world. This are like ferns and undergrowth. And we want that to be forest. So we'll come back through when it's in the zone area and we'll paint forest on there. Got some arms here. We'll make that forest too, so that it matches. And we'll just blend that all in when we get it into the Marion side.
Mom, I have a golden bird.
Alright.
I got a golden bird.
Yep, you sure do.
See, her neck's turning all golden and stuff.
Golden red.
I got a golden bird. It's a golden bird. We might have to rename her to something that has to do with gold.
Okay.
Hey there. She's a golden goose. Why haven't you got a comb yet? You don't have much of a comb. Get down.
Get rid of that. It doesn't look good there.
Oh, there's your dog.
I'm trying to decide if that should be... Kind of looks like it should be kind of mountain rocky.
It's a rated R movie.
Is it?
Yes. I saw where it was. I reserve the right to stop it at any time. Stop it.
All right. Oh, Conan the Barbarian. I was right. It's Conan the Barbarian.
Samurai Jack. It's so weird. How to make a sword.
Alright, let's get it a little smaller. We need to go back up to 13. We want it smaller. Go down. Alright. Better save again, I guess. I don't want to lose my work. Alright, I'm gonna grab that texture. I just press Alt to grab the textures like that, in case you're wondering. Alright, so we have, I want to make very sure that the center line isn't going to need to be changed, so I think we need some smoothing here. Yeah, there's some. Put rock on the steep faces, like here, and then forest and grass on the shallower faces. try to put grass in more like the valley areas where there might be like rain runoff or something. And then forest in the higher areas. Let's try to make it somewhat consistent with what I think is evident in real life. I hope it is. I mean, I have looked at some pictures of mountains. I used to live near the mountains. Kind of live in town now, but my parents still live near the mountains. And so I try to follow what I know about that.
So because they're evil and because they want their food.
I hate the way it jumps just to giant. I don't want giant, I just want... So these light areas, I think there's some of our old texture under those light areas, so I'm trying to paint over them. It's a non-alpha texture and our engine doesn't like it. So I'm trying to paint over all that so that it gets rid of it. That's my goal anyway. Goal is to paint over it. Yeah, like here, this. See, our engine does not like that at all, so I'm getting rid of it. And that. It doesn't like that either. Some of it does and some of it doesn't. Depends on which one it is. But anyway, I'm just getting rid of it. And I don't have to worry about it anymore. And save. And then we go back to taking samples and laying terrain. Trying to match it up with what looks like might be the relevant terrain. How am I missing a block here? Where did that go? Alright, I think what I'm going to have to do is count them out. I'm not going to lay down all 17 of them or whatever again. I guess I could go backwards from the other side. from? How many are missing over here? Are all of them missing? Yes, I have a few missing, so we'll start at 1. I don't know why it's doing this. I might have to turn off Procaster, because maybe it's losing memory. Anyway, this shows you what's working, right? So now you know how to do it. But I'm gonna turn off Procaster because I can't stand to have it forget things like this. Anyway, you probably don't want to watch 20 hours of me editing terrain, but that's how it works.